I just made a video about embroidering this lunchbox using what I was calling the hat clamp, and I just want to apologize right now because it's actually called a pocket clamp. So the fact that I embroidered a pocket with a pocket clamp wasn't really that impressive. For some reason, I've just been calling it a hat clamp because that's what I do with it. I embroider the back of hats and it installs on a hoop on the hat driver. I'm sorry, forgive me. So I just wanted to jump on here. I have no idea how to do videos, so please be kind to me because I've got my phone propped up on a bunch of stuff. I don't even have a tripod. I'm just jumping on here because I think that I have some stuff that might help you as I'm learning. I'm hoping that I can help you learn. So this is actually the pocket clamp, and it just, you flip this up and it opens up. I tape my stabilizer in, you install your stuff in, try to make it straight, close it, and then clamp this down. And then this part installs on the hoop driver. I'm not going to use this today because I'm gonna do the backpack. I could use this on the backpack, but I did want to jump on here and show you how I do them with my fast frames, or from BAi, they're called the 8-in-1 frames, or 8-in-1 hoops. So I wanted to jump on and show you guys how I do the backpack that goes with this, with those. But I just wanted to clarify because I realized my mistake after I posted my video, and I don't know how to go back and edit it. So I'm sure there's a way, but that's not what I'm here for. I don't care if you like and subscribe. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for myself. I'm here to help you. So I'm sorry. I got an unkind comment on my last video, so they didn't like how I recorded, but this is just what I'm here to do, to just try to help you guys. So anyways, let's get into it. I hate it when YouTube videos, the person just sitting there talking forever before they get into it. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna use this. This is the frame. I have the fast frame installed. I'm gonna uninstall it. So how you do that, you unscrew this bit, it comes off, and you pull this off. Please be careful with this because I've set it down and I have had a hard time finding it, and then you're up a creek without a paddle because this screws that piece on. So you need this. So I make sure even if it's loose, just screw it back on to this so you don't lose that black skirt. Okay, so this is one of the 8-in-1s. There's 8 of them. I haven't used all 8 because some of them just aren't necessary for me. I use this one quite a bit. This one it has a 5, let's see, looks like it's a 5x4 opening, give or take, but your design is gonna obviously be smaller than that because you don't want it to get too close to the metal frame and bump and jar things off. There isn't a way to set it on there's not like a preset for the 8-in-1s. You just set your machine to other. So you do have to trace it once you put it on. So I always hold my needle down. Well, actually, it's better if you just trace it first, because what's gonna happen is sometimes the arm down here will actually bump the metal frame, and then the whole thing will like get off kilter, and that means that obviously your design is either not centered or it's way too big for that hoop. You need to resize your design or try to get a bigger hoop on there. So you will have to trace. You'll have to use the setting other, and you will have to trace. And I'll try to show you guys. I'm not perfect, but I'm gonna try to walk you through this. So also with the 8-in-1s, I know I've explained this before, but if you haven't seen my other video, there's like a little, you can see that. Okay, see how there's like a little dip? It dips down. That is the way you want to install it. You don't want to put it this way. This is upside down when it goes up. Now, I will say on the larger hoop, the one that's like a little bit larger and a little bit longer, for some reason with the design, when it's the correct way, it sags a bit in the front. And I mean, my designs aren't necessarily too big, but because it's sagging, it does hit this. And then the whole thing gets all kiltered. So with the larger hoop, let me see if I can grab the one I'm talking about. Okay, sorry. this one in particular is a much larger hoop, and let me get the metal part off of it. Okay. So when you've installed it onto your thing, and it's not, I'm just holding it there, it does tend to sag a little bit, especially if you have, like, say you have a heavy bag on here or something heavy, it's gonna pull down on this bit when it's installed. It'll not be as saggy, but it does sag a little bit, and I always run into problems with it hitting with the arm here, where your bobbin is, hitting the frame. So I actually do install these upside down because that little groove that goes up just gives it just enough that it's not gonna hit my arm. But when you do that, it's gonna sound a little scary because for some reason it bounces a little bit. So I watch it. Like, I stand there. Sometimes I'll even put my finger on the edge just to stabilize it because it does bounce, because that's not the way it's meant to be. It's meant to go this way. So you just have to play around and find out what works for you. That's how I install this one, the larger one, and that's what works for me. But again, that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm going to use this little one, and I'm going to install it properly, which is with the groove going down. I like to tape my stabilizer in, so I'm going to do that for you. So I just, at the edge, I stick a little bit of painter's tape. Now, this is not necessarily a necessary step. You could just, because these ones do come, because with BAi you do get the magnet with them, so you don't maybe necessarily have to tape the stabilizer in. I do, because when I'm trying to position my garment or my bag or whatever I'm embroidering on this hoop before I stick the magnet, I don't want this moving all around on me and not being in place. So I'm just gonna, I'm using the scrap, it's too long, so I'm just gonna trim it. I would use my larger scissors normally, but they're all the way over there. So I'm just gonna use this little one. They're right here. Okay, so I just tape it on the side. Now, sometimes I'll tape it on all four sides. It's not really necessary. I'm just gonna stick 2 pieces. These are nice fresh pieces of tape. If you've watched any of my other videos, I say it all the time, I reuse tape. Sometimes they're not as sticky, so I'll tape all 4 sides. The other thing I like to use is this basting spray. I get it from Walmart. It's pretty inexpensive. This one's pretty much empty, but we're gonna see what we can get out of it. Oh, it's got just enough. All right, so that just makes it a little bit tacky. Again, not necessary. You can do it without that, but I just find that that helps me when I'm positioning my garment or my backpack or whatever. It just helps it to stick on a little bit, so that I make sure I have it in place before I stick the magnet on. It's not gonna move on me. So here's my backpack that I'm gonna do. This is from the same client, goes with this lunchbox. They're not a perfect match, but both green, Gator green, that's who we are. Here in where I live, that's by our school. I did find the center already, and I used my ruler. I love these clear rulers. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, all the places. So I like these acrylic rulers, but I just went ahead and found my center. I marked it with a chalk line. I made sure that this was straight based off of these lines here. Now, if I didn't have these lines here, I would try to make sure it was straight and make like a crosshair, but I know this line is straight according to these zippers. So as long as the backpack was made straight, it should be straight. So now what I'm gonna do with the fast frame is I'm gonna stick it inside, and I'm gonna try my best to make it straight on here. Now, backpacks are tough because you've got all this extra bulk. I'm gonna fold this bit up. Sorry guys, I don't have a tripod, so I can't really move you around. You're just stuck here. And I have to move, sorry, so you can see it. That's, okay. So I'm gonna fold this down just to get it flat. All right, and then I'll move it back up when I go to do the thing. This is much easier when I have it sitting on the table, but I'm trying to help you guys. I did pull my ironing board over here. So let me see if I can do it right here. All right, it's not that sticky, which is not helpful right now. So again, it's almost empty. Okay, let's see. And what's nice about this backpack is I do have some seams here that I can kind of just line it up with. So it looks straight. Oop, rubbing too much. My chalk's rubbing off. That's not good. All right, so now I stick my clear ruler. I find the edge of my hoop inside of my backpack. And I'm gonna hold it with both hands on either corner. And because it's a clear ruler, I can see through, and you're not gonna really be able to see it in the video. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to trust me. I'm gonna see through and I'm gonna look for that chalk line and make sure that it is straight. And it looks that it is straight. I'm gonna check it on this side too, without trying to, that's where the sticky, the tacky spray kind of comes in handy, because I don't wanna move my bag as I'm trying to make sure that it's straight. So, oh, my chalk line is barely visible through there. I'm gonna just, there goes my ruler. Okay, I just had to make it a little bit more defined. Pick up my ruler here. Excuse me. All right, now, I can see it so much better. Okay, let's see. It looks pretty near straight. To the best of my ability and my knowledge, it looks straight to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick the magnet on. It's nice that, now if you're watching this and you don't have a BAi machine, maybe you have a different multi-needle machine and you don't have these magnets that go on top, that's okay. I would probably pin it. I mean, the spray will hold it too, but because it's a backpack and because it's heavier, I would probably pin it in place. And just make sure your pins are out of the way when you trace. You might want to go with a larger hoop in that case, so you can make sure your pins are out of the way. I don't want to get into too many different techniques, but sometimes, let's see here, sorry. I was looking for the towels, but I don't see them. I use this a lot when I embroider kitchen towels. I leave it hooped like this. I actually wrote with a paint pen my center lines. On this one, I don't have them on the sides. I just have them front and bottom, or top and bottom, excuse me. But I will float my towel. I'll spray the sticky adhesive. I'll float my towel on top, and I'll pin it like here, 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 and here. I mean, so it's tacked down with the sticky spray, and then I've pinned it in place, and then it'll embroider. And I do these kitchen towels a lot, so maybe the next video I make will be the next time I'm filling one of the kitchen towel orders. I just sent a bunch out, so the shop that sells them for me is good for a while, but come the next holiday, she usually asks for a special occasion ones. So we'll see. But I don't want to get into too many different techniques that I use. I'm here to show you how to use the fast frame or the 8-in-1s to do a backpack. So now it's on there with the magnet. It's pretty stable. It's not going anywhere. It does have a little bit of puckering. I think it's because my spray adhesive is kind of running out. Now, this is not a stretchy fabric, so I feel comfortable just kind of pulling it taut a little bit. You don't want, if it was stretchy, you wouldn't want to do that, because then you would get puckering because you would stretch the fabric too much. But this is not a stretchy fabric, so I'm just going to make sure it's nice and flat and taut in there. Okay. Now, this is how we install this. We unscrew this bit. We stick this on here, you line it up. Okay, and then you screw this part back on. Okay, these arms are going to be what installs on the arms of your machine. This way. This way. So the screw goes in the back. Right? And this is open. You want to make sure that there's nothing in the way here when you install it onto your machine. I wish I could get you guys closer and show you this. I'll hold my camera in a minute when it's stitching out, but clips right on. Okay. All right, let me pull you over. Okay. So here's my BAi machine. I have the mirror 12 needle machine, okay? I have my design up here. It's already installed. It's the center is right there on that eye, okay? And I already did a basic trace to make sure it fit in this hoop, make sure I had the right hoop size. But I'll show you guys. So this is the trace button. Okay. Again, I wish I had like a tripod so I could show you guys. Like I'm not gonna be able, I'm holding my phone, so I'm not gonna be able to hold the needle down. But you would hold the needle down and oh, it's pretty much almost right on my chalk line. I might go over a tad. Let's see. That looks pretty good. So normally I would keep this needle down as I did my trace, but I don't have two hands right now. I can pull it down now. So there. See how it fits inside of that hoop? It didn't hit anything, nothing bumped, so I know I have the right hoop. So now I just need to make sure I have it up and down kind of where I want it. I know it's centered. So let me just take a look at that. Sorry, excuse my hand. Like I said, I'm not a professional, guys. I don't even like doing these videos. I do it because I'm hoping that I can help somebody learn as I'm learning, because I'm still learning. I'm completely self-taught. I never took a class on embroidery. I started on a single needle brother machine. Actually, my first embroidery machine was a duo machine, so it did sewing and embroidery because I've been sewing basically my whole life. My mom taught me when I was real young, and I far surpassed my mom in sewing because I've just found a love and a passion for it. And I pretty much say, like, if you can think it with fabric, I could probably figure out how to make it, because I'm pretty creative and just blessed. The Lord has just blessed me in my sewing abilities. So in that, when it was time for a new machine, I was interested in the embroidery, so I got a machine that did both. But it only had a 4x4 little tiny frame that I could, and I realized pretty quick that that wasn't gonna get me very far. So then I upgraded to a brother machine that had I believe it's a 7x10 was the largest field, and that was awesome. I mean, that thing got me through quite a few years. I started my business on that machine, a single needle brother machine. And then from there, I got a lot of orders and stuff, and it was time to upgrade, and BAi was the machine of my choice. It was in my price point. I was able to get the most amount of needles for the price being so low, and the team at BAi has just been wonderful. I am not paid or sponsored by BAi at all in any way. Like I just enjoy their product. I enjoy being able to do this, and I feel blessed because I wasn't going to be able to do it with any other machine. I couldn't afford it. So anyways, enough about that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to show you how to embroider this backpack. So I think I'm going to go down. You know, I really didn't decide where I wanted it. I think it's, oh, see, it bumped a little bit. You know, I think it's good right there. Yep. All right, so now I'm going to pick my color. I hope by the time you're watching this, you know how to pick a color, but just in case you don't, I'm gonna come over here. You do this where the 3 spools are down here. Okay, and then there's only one color in this design, so it's gonna say colors 1 down here. I know you guys can't see this probably very well. All right, so my one color, I'm gonna have this lime green. It's on the second spot with all my spools back there. Don't mind the mess I just showed you. Goodness. Sorry. Okay, so it's on green. You hit OK. All right. Now we should be ready to go. So I'm gonna get started. Let me just make sure it's good. I got scared for a minute. I thought it was upside down. It's not. Okay, so take you over here. So this is how I've been doing backpacks. I've been using my fast frames and they've been working pretty well for me. I think that I am about ready to invest in the shoe clamp that BAi has. I would say that I would link it below, but honestly guys, I'll try. We'll see. No promises. But it basically has like clamps. Because I believe the Malco has a similar device. But theirs is a little bit more fancy and it's not called a shoe device. I don't remember what it's called, but it has like multiple different sizes clamps. BAi has one that just is called a shoe clamp, and from what I can tell, it's designed and meant to do those high top soft shoes like the, I don't know, I'm not a shoe person. But anyways, those soft high top shoes, or like the tongue of a shoe, or whatever. It's designed for shoes, and that's what they design it for. But a lot of people are using it to do backpacks because you can hoop a lot of hard to hoop items. And I know that, thanks the Lord, I have figured it out for most of the clients that have brought me items that they've wanted me to embroider. But there's been some items that I've gotten and I'm like, oh, this is like, the bag is too heavy, the magnet won't stick, the pocket is like an awkward shape or size, and it's just hard to hoop. So I know the shoe clamp would come in handy if I had it, but I don't. So this is how I've been doing bags for 99.9% of the time. I've been using my 8-in-1 hoops, and they've been working. So again, I just hope that this video helps you and encourages you. I'm sorry that it was a little bit winded and a little bit longer as I was kind of going off on my tangents and my rabbit trails today. That's not something that I usually do. I like to stay on topic, but yeah, I just got a comment that was a little disheartening to me, and I guess if you ever watch Wreck-It Ralph, you know, don't read the comments. But I read them because if you guys have any questions, I try to help. And I'm not, I'm not the best at technology, so sometimes I'll miss your comments for months at a time. So I apologize if you do comment and you don't get a response. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm not paid to do this. I'm not trying to get paid to do this. I'm just on here trying to help you guys. So just bear with me. I hope this helps you. Go ahead and please ask me questions and I'll try to answer them the best of my ability. I don't know everything. Obviously I was calling this thing the hat pants clamp, but it's the pocket clamp. So, I'll do my best to help you guys. Or if I can't help you, I'll try to refer you to the team at BAi. If you have a BAi machine, I would encourage you to get in the Facebook groups, contact the person who even sold you your machine, and they can connect you with people. I work with Helen personally, and I love her. I adore her. She's wonderful. Never met her in person, but she's like family. I mean, anytime I have a question about anything, I'm able to ask Helen, and if she can't answer it, she'll send me to someone on the team that can. So they're really great. I hope you check them out if you are in the market for a machine. I know some people can be leery about BAi, and again, I'm sorry, I'm on another tangent, but so yeah, I just hope that this helps you guys out. I'll show you this one more time. All right, guys, have a good rest of your day or night, whatever time you might be watching this. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this helps.